Hello everyone and welcome back to Coach Craig Sports. Today is Monday, January 31st, and this is the NBA DFS video for today. So in today's video, we're going to be doing a quick little recap of yesterday's picks, seeing how they turned out, talking about the injuries in play for tonight's slate. It is an 8-game slate overall, and then going over my picks on both FanDuel and DraftKings for tonight's slate as well. But without further ado, we'll get into it with the recap of yesterday's picks. We're going to start off on the DraftKings side where we had Trey Jones at the point guard position, $3,000 flat minimum. Looking for 15.7, we got to 33.75, so over 10 times value yesterday. Very, very good hit overall. At shooting guard, went with Devin Vassell. He was in that starting lineup, $4,100. Looking for 21 points on. He got to 18.75. He's a miss, 2 for 12 shooting from the field. So if he would have made just 2 more shots, he would have paid off at his price tag yesterday. Franz Wagner at small forward, $5,700. Looking for 29 points on. He got to 25.5. He was a miss. Probably not one that killed you too bad overall, though. Then we had Keldon Johnson at power forward, $5,400, looking for 27 points on. He got to 33, so he was a pretty good hit yesterday. Then, unfortunately, we had Maxi Kleber at center position, $3,700, looking for 19 points on. He got to 14.25. He is a miss. 2 for 8 shooting from the field, only a couple of rebounds. Just didn't do a whole heck of a lot yesterday, so kind of unfortunate there. Then we move over to the FanDuel side where we had Trey Jones once again, $4,100, looking for 21 points on. He got to 32.1, so he was a hit once again. Jalen Brunson at the shooting guard position, he was $5,600, looking for 28 points out. He's been playing pretty well. No Kristaps Porzingis yesterday. Unfortunately, he ended up with 21.8 points, so he was a miss. He mainly just scored the ball yesterday. Didn't do a whole lot in terms of assists or rebounds, though. Then in small forward, we had Keldon Johnson once again, $5,900, looking for 30 points out. He got to 31.6, so he was a hit. Then once again, we had Maxi Kleber, who was a miss, $4,200, looking for 21 points out. He got to 13 points, so just not a good day for him overall. And then at center, I had Jock Landale, who actually ended up coming off the bench, and Andrew Eubanks ended up starting. Didn't have a chance to get to that yesterday, but even at $3,600, he had 17.6. I gave him a push yesterday because we were looking for about 18 points out of him. So kind of a hit or miss day overall on both sites. I did have a DraftKings lineup that did break through yesterday and did pretty well as with a couple other picks, but it was a lot of mixing and matching those Spurs and just trying to get the right ones in the right lineup yesterday, especially in terms of values on last night's slate overall. But with that being said, we'll get moved over into the injuries and play for tonight's slate. So we're going to start off with the New Orleans Pelicans, who were without Zion Williamson and Didi Lozano once again. Then Josh Hart, Brandon Ingram, and Jonas Valanciunas. All this is questionable to play. Just going to have to follow that news throughout the day and see who ends up playing tonight. For the Cleveland Cavaliers, just Lauri Markkanen out once again, so no changes there. For the Los Angeles Clippers, Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, Jay Preston all out. Then Nick Batum listed as questionable. He did not end up playing yesterday. Marcus Morris returned yesterday. Maybe he rests on the back-to-back. They've done that a couple times this year, so it wouldn't surprise me at all, especially after his first game back. For the Pacers, they're without Malcolm Brogdon, T.J. McConnell, Miles Turner, and T.J. Warren, so no changes in that regard. And then Oshai Brissett and Goga Batadze both listed as questionable to play. For the Memphis Grizzlies, they are without Dillon Brooks once again. Then Tyus Jones listed as questionable. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they're obviously without Ben Simmons once again. Then Shake Milton is still out. And then we have Furkan Korkmaz listed as questionable today. Not a major issue, especially since Seth Curry did return in the last game and Danny Green the time or two before that as well. So not quite as big a deal that it could have been if it was a couple of games ago. Then we move down to the Toronto Raptors, who were without Khem Birch and Goran Dragic, and then David Johnson listed as a game-time decision. The Atlanta Hawks are all the way healthy tonight. For the Miami Heat, we have Kyle Lowry, Markieff Morris, KZ Okpala, Victor Oladipo, and Omar Yurtseven joining them now today as out. So Dwayne Dedmon going to be that primary big man off the bench once again. And then we have Jimmy Butler listed as questionable to play tonight. I do assume that he does end up playing since he did play in that triple overtime game. Then for the Boston Celtics, they're obviously without Bobo, and then Romeo Langford listed as questionable. It doesn't really matter too much from a DFS perspective, though. Then for the Kings, we have Marvin Bagley and Terrence Davis both listed as out tonight, and then De'Aaron Fox listed as questionable. We'll see if Fox is back tonight or not. Obviously been dealing with that ankle injury for a little while now. We'll see if Metu's in that starting lineup in place of Marvin Bagley once again tonight. He could be a little bit of a value there as well. For the New York Knicks, they're without Derrick Rose, and then Nerlens Noel listed as probable. Apparently their lineup's already confirmed as Kemba Walker, Evan Fournier, RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson. Typically, you don't see it that early in the day, so that's kind of interesting. Then for the Golden State Warriors, they're without Draymond Green, Andre Iguodala, Otto Porter Jr., and James Wiseman. And then Nemanja Bjelica is listed as questionable to play tonight as well. So the biggest thing here is just going to be who's that fifth starter, whether it's Kuminga, whether it's Jordan Poole, whether it's somebody else. Then for the Houston Rockets, they're without John Wall and Usman Garuba. And then Kevin Porter Jr. listed as questionable to play. I do believe he's dealing with an illness that he missed the last time out with. Then last but not least, we move down to the Portland Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder. So the Trailblazers are without Damian Lillard, Nazir Little, Larry Nance, and Cody Zeller. CJ Ellaby listed as questionable, so we'll see if he plays tonight or not. Obviously, he's missed the past 2 games. And then for the Thunder, the big one is they are without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, obviously their best players. So you're going to see a little bit of an uptick for guys like Josh Giddey and Lou Dort tonight. Hopefully this game stays competitive enough that both those guys can have some pretty good value overall. And then Vic Krevich out once again, so no major impact from that at all. But with that being said, that's a quick little rundown on all the injuries in play for tonight's slate. There's definitely going to be a few that we're looking out for throughout the day. Definitely going to be a very interesting slate, but as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments below. So definitely be sure you're checking that out throughout the day. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to DraftKings and talk about my picks over there. So we're going to start off at the point guard position. I got Davion Mitchell at this point in time, $4,900, looking for 24, 25 points down. Currently, I'm projected for 26 points. I do assume De'Aaron Fox is not playing once again tonight. Davion Mitchell's been in that starting lineup the past 2 times out and played rather well. And then at shooting guard, we have Luke Kennard, a guy that's been playing super well. Still not in the starting lineup for whatever reason, but he's really thriving in that role off the bench. When he's shooting hot, sometimes you just have to ride him. He's $5,000, looking for 25 points out, essentially averaging 23 on the season. Currently, I have him projected for 26 points, but he definitely has a ton of upside for more, as we've seen in recent games. Then at small forward, we're going with Lou Dort, $6,000, looking for 30 points out. I'm averaging about 27 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 30, 31 points. It offers a little bit of upside as well, as we did see the last time out after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did end up leaving that game. Then at power forward, I'm going with Jimmy Butler. I know he's kind of banged up at this point in time, but he's been playing pretty well overall, $8,900. Looking for 44, 45 points out of him, essentially what he's averaging on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 45, 46 points as long as he's in that lineup tonight. Then last but not least, we have Richaun Holmes at the center position, $5,000. Looking for 25 points out. Currently, I'm projected for 25, 26 points, averaging about 27 on the season, so there's a little bit of upside there as well. And then, obviously, Marvin Bagley tonight could help him out just a little bit as well. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the DraftKings side, you have $20,200 remaining, just over $6,700 per player. So probably not paying up for a stud on tonight's slate. Maybe you take a little bit more balanced approach. Maybe you pay up at one position, pay down at another position. Definitely a lot of different ways that you can approach this. And there could be some other good value opening up throughout the day as well. But with that being said, we'll get moved over to FanDuel and talk about my picks over there. So I'm going to go with Davion Mitchell at the point guard position once again. Still $4,900. Still looking for 24, 25 points out. Still have him projected for 26 points. As long as De'Aaron Fox is not playing and he's in that starting lineup, looking like a solid little play overall. Then at shooting guard, I think this one's super easy tonight, is Josh Giddey, $5,700. Looking for 28, 29 points out, averaging 31 points on this season. Obviously, no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, so he's going to take over as that primary ball handler for this Oklahoma City Thunder team. Got him projected for about 34 points tonight, but definitely has some upside for more as well. Then at small forward, we're going right back to his teammate Lou Dort, $5,000, looking for 25 points at him, essentially averaging 26 on the season. He's going to be playing a bigger role tonight with no Shai Gilgeous-Alexander once again. Have him projected for 30 points tonight, which makes him one of the top overall values on FanDuel for tonight's slate. Then at power forward, it was not the prettiest today. So I got Robert Covington here. He's been playing monster minutes, $5,300, looking for 26, 27 points out of him. Averaging about 23.5 on the season. Currently, I'm projected for 27 points. Has a little bit of upside for more, especially with the big minutes that he's been playing. So definitely could do a lot worse than Robert Covington on tonight's slate. Then last but not least, at the center position, kind of another yucky position, but I ended up on Evan Mobley, $7,100, looking for 35, 36 points at him. Currently, I'm projected for 36 points. Has a little bit of upside for more, but he has a little bit of downside as well, but a relatively safe play compared to some of the other center options on tonight's slate. But with that being said, if you go with these 5 players on the FanDuel side, you have $32,000 remaining, $8,000 per player. So you can definitely pay up for a stud if that's something you want to do. Heck, if you really want to throw Joel Embiid in at center, you can definitely do that over a guy like Evan Mobley as well. Or you can even move Evan Mobley over to power forward. That's definitely an option as well. But with that being said, these are my picks for both FanDuel and DraftKings for today, January 31st. As always, if you have any questions related to NBA DFS, be sure to leave them down in the comments below and I'll get back to you as quickly as possible. Also, be sure to let me know your favorite play on tonight's slate, whether it's on FanDuel or DraftKings. Heck, if you want to talk a little bit of Super Draft, we can do that as well. JC Money Design and I will be back tonight live streaming at about 5 o'clock Central Time over on his channel. Once that link is up, I'll be sure to leave that down in the description below. So if you're into Super Draft, you're new to Super Draft, or you just want to play some NBA DFS on Super Draft, definitely be sure to check out that stream. There's going to be a lot of good information there, and we're going to be building some lineups as well. And then, as always, I'll be listing all the injury updates, COVID news, and starting lineups down in the comments, as well as that updated core probably about an hour to a half hour prior to lock. If there's any major changes between that time, I'll also list that as well. But with that being said, if you are new to my channel, please consider subscribing. Definitely would appreciate it. It helps to build the community that we're trying to build here at Coach Craig Sports, which is one that's truly for you, the viewers, helping you with your DFS, whether it's NBA or NFL, helping you with your fantasy football teams. I know that's kind of out the window at this point in time, but we could be talking some dynasty and some NFL draft prospects as we can move closer to that NFL draft. I'll also be talking about some of the head coach hirings that have happened so far later on this week as well. So definitely be sure to check that out if that's something you're into. And then with that being said, if you are a newer current subscriber who's yet to do so, also hit that notification bell down below. It's going to let you know every single time I post up a new video. Like I've been saying, I post up daily NBA DFS videos just like this. But with that being said, that's all I have for today's video. Hopefully you all enjoyed. And then last but not least, special little shout out to each and every one of you watching today's video. I truly do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Definitely means a lot to me, and I hope each and every one of you has a great rest of your day.